Alright, you ready to do this?
No, nothing's set up.
Oh.
Cameras, wait, we don't have mics up yet. Look me in the eyes and tell me that you love me. Everything's alright when you're right here by my side. This is Toonin. This is the podcast where me, Marcus, and my friend...
Speedwagon.
Gosh, dude. Not only did you not say your name, it took so long.
I had to think of a good one.
Gosh. Karsten and I talk about cartoons and how they are made for adults and kids, not just kids, and everybody can get together and enjoy them together. However, again, we can't stress this enough, our podcast is probably has a little bit higher of a age range than a lot of the shows we talk about. We just recently finished Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Now we're going back to our roots.
Yeah,
and the show that started it all.
Back to Dragon Prince Season 2. We're going over episodes 1 and 2 of Dragon Prince. Why did we talk about any of that?
I don't know. Maybe because it's like 11 o'clock and you're tired?
No, I don't feel tired, dude. I told you, I took a 4-hour nap, dude. I'm ready to go.
Okay, so, let's get into the show then.
Yeah, we can actually talk about the show. You're tired.
What?
You're tired, not me.
You're not wrong, but I'm not going to let it show. I promise. Or at least I'm going to try not to let it show. So this episode is...
Should we recap?
Surprise.
No, listen to the first 5 episodes of our show. I was going to say we should recap Season 1. No, you freaking baby idiots.
Or just go watch the show yourself. It's so good.
But before you watch the show, listen, why would you tell them to not do our... Or, instead of doing our product... What a bad salesman.
Did you not just hear me say something? Did you not hear what I said about our first few episodes being butt?
That's still a listen.
I guess.
And
that's the me not being confident about my product.
There are positives about those episodes.
Yeah, you're right.
I did the bit in one of the first episodes about Brock Lesnar eating people and the chaos and stuff, and that was a pretty good
that was so good. That was Justice League.
Oh, dang it, dude. Did we do anything good when we talked about Dragon Prince?
You did a lot of good stuff, but I was just kind of... Hey, guys.
Convincing your friends to not be awkward is great. The good thing is I think it's probably more noticeable in this... Like, when me and Ian did it, I don't think it was super noticeable, because I think we were both figuring out how to do it.
Yeah.
So, I think the best compliment I ever got on that show was when Matt Sampson, who longtime fan of that show would know who Matt Sampson is. We talk about him every episode of Let Me Pitch This to You. He commented that he didn't really like either of our pitches that week, but he still found it entertaining. It was you guys have become good enough hosts to where now even if I don't necessarily like the story you're talking about, it's still entertaining to listen to you guys talk to each other and stuff. And that was the best compliment somebody gave me about the show. Was thank goodness, because I listened back to the first few episodes of that show, and let me tell you, me and Ian are already some awkward boys, and 2 awkward boys mixed with a camera and microphones turns up the awkward, and dang. I think the pitches were at large better when the show was first starting.
It's because you weren't running out of ideas yet.
But as far as just good idea, as far as good hosts who can banter with each other, is so much more listenable at the last few episodes of that show.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if it picks up a bike. I kind of want to talk to Ian with mics in front of us and stuff and see if we can banter as good as we used to. If it just picks up or if it's awkward again. But yeah. Let's actually do our thing. But also do listen to our episodes about the Dragon Prince. It is, even though Carson's not proud of it, it's the 3rd most viewed video on our YouTube channel.
Really?
Is our first episode of Dragon Prince, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hey, here's a weird thing, and this is real quick because it's actually about Dragon Prince. Nobody cares about it. On the internet. There's hardly anything on the internet you can find about people talking about the show.
Because you haven't been on Tumblr.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about YouTube-wise.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's not a ton of YouTube stuff about Dragon Prince. So, when we were super on top of it. When our show came out, Dragon Prince was, hot off the presses.
Yeah.
So we were, one of the first people to do it, and also nobody else was. So if you were searching Dragon Prince stuff on YouTube, our show popped up like third, fourth result.
Mm-hmm.
So like those like podcasts did well, and then I think people didn't like it because like I don't think they had great watch time, but it did well because like nobody at YouTube talks about Dragon Prince, and this show rules.
It's such a good show.
We started, so like let's actually get into it. We started season 2, episode 1, and we were like both like kind of looking at each other like, man, this is good. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Like I remember the show being good, and we watched it because it was good. Like it's just really good.
Yeah. Like, to be completely honest, I enjoyed that more than I enjoyed just like these first few episodes. I've
You're
enjoyed
wrong. Justice
more.
League Unlimited is the best show I've ever seen.
I'm not trying to tell you that Justice League is better or worse than Dragon Prince. I'm just saying that me personally enjoyed these first 2 episodes of Dragon Prince season 2 more than Justice League.
In its entirety?
I mean, yeah, maybe there were a couple episodes here and there of Justice League that stood out, but like in general, overall, season 1 of Justice League didn't have me as captivated as the first 2 episodes of Dragon Prince season 2.
Well, Carson is a baby with baby opinions,
and I do not expect to be called back next week.
Dang, yeah, I have to find new co-hosts, and then we gotta work through the awkward stuff of that. Dang, no, Justice League Unlimited is the best show ever made. It's not true.
Hey, I'm not saying it's bad. It is good. It is still really good television.
It is probably... I'm biased, because that's like the first cartoon that I really got into. And it was the first time that, like, I was probably a little too old by the time I started watching, just a little too old for, like, what you would think. But I was just starting to analyze art. So, like, it was, like, the first show I analyzed and was like, crap, like, this show's, like, about government and, like, if superheroes are scary or not. And so I'm a little biased towards Justice League. But, I do love that show.
I mean, yeah, it is really good. I'm
like,
saying
also,
it is really good.
Also, Dragon Prince is really good, though.
Yeah.
The character design in this show, just real quick, and I'm sure we talked about this, dang, dude. It's been so long since I've, like, seen these people. Everybody looks good. Everybody looks cool. All of the colors in this show are very vibrant, and that rules.
Yeah. And, like, going into this, now that I've actually invested time into Avatar The Last Airbender, going back to this show, just listening to Callum talk, it's like,
It sounds like a mature Sokka.
Yeah, it's just Sokka. My brain goes to Sokka. And, like, so the whole time, we were, like, throwing, like, back and forth, like, throwing out parallels between Callum and Sokka and stuff like that, pointing out how they're similar and stuff like that. Oh, cracking jokes about the 2 characters. It was good.
Yeah, this show rules, and like I remember it ruling. Maybe season 2 is better than season 1. Like maybe it is.
Who knows? I think to give an honest assessment, we would have to go back and rewatch season 1.
Yeah, but like so either season 2 is a lot better, or we're dumb and we forgot how freaking good the show is.
Yeah.
But so it starts out with, I don't remember her name. I remembered a lot of the names. I kind of, as we were going to be like, oh yeah, I remember this, but
it's either Amara or Amaya.
Yeah, so she's riding her horse.
I think it's Amara.
And she's on her way back to the front lines, I believe, because she's on the line of where...
She's in a volcano.
Where something crosses into Zadie or whatever, and she gets kind of jumped by some elves. And tensions are hot. They're on this, so like the secret mission's still going on, nobody knows they had the egg. So tensions are still really high at the border, which I a little bit forgot about. After that happens, we get a quick recap due to some narration of Callum writing in his journal of like what happened a little bit and what's going on, and then we kind of just jump right into the first episode.
Yeah.
Like of what like new stuff's happening. So the moon mage is kind of talking to all of them and making them eat bugs, but they don't know that they're bugs.
Because she's an illusion mage, so she makes it all look like...
look and taste
like gourmet food. And so like she just presents this feast to them. And they're just like, oh wow, this food's so good. And then the moon mage is just like, guess what? You were fooled. It's just maggots. It's grubs. And
maggots, just like you little bug maggots, and then she beats all of them up.
So she says it's just grubs, and then and Ezran's like, "Oh, you mean like grub, like good food, like you gave us some grub, right?" And she's like, no, look, see what that big magic bird is eating over there? And she points over, and everyone looks, and the bird's eating, like, grubs and worms out of a bowl.
The Moon Phoenix is one of the coolest looking fantasy creatures I've ever seen.
It's dope, dude.
I love birds, like bird imagery a lot, too. I have a phoenix tattooed on my body. Like, I love bird imagery and stuff, but, like, I think it looks freaking dope.
It's so cool.
Dragon also looks cool. It looks really... It's a good example of, like, little things being cute. Because, like, the dragon looks in such a way that, like, that's really cute now.
It looks like a baby animal.
However, you could clearly see it, like, give it a year and you're going to look terrifying.
Yeah.
So, pretty much what goes on in this first episode, and, like, we'll, like, recap and talk about highlights, is, like, the main points are, for blanked on her name, Rayla. Rayla wants to leave because she can, if you remember right, like, where we left off last time, was a locator spell was cast on them.
Yeah.
So Soren and Claudia know where they are and they're on their way. And Rayla wants to get going. She wants to be like, we need to go. Ezra wants to try to learn about magic from...
No, Callum wants to learn about magic.
Yeah, sorry.
Ezran
wants to...
Just be Ezran.
And he wants to teach the dragon how to fly. Because they're scared that it's going to get hunted and killed or something.
Yeah.
If it can't fly. Which I don't get. Like, it can walk around and the toad just walks around with them. Bait, like... But whatever.
Well, Bait's not, like, a magical creature
but
that's
don't you
being
think his
hunted.
mom could probably teach it how to fly?
I think it's more so that when it's on the journey with them.
I don't know, whatever.
Who knows? They don't really explain that point too well. Or maybe they did and we just were busy working with my mixer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Frick.
Carson got a mixer, and... It's better than my mixer, and I hate him.
Well, we don't know that. We haven't tested the sound quality yet.
It sucks, I bet. I bet it sounds...
I mean, the thing's like 10 years old.
You could, like, when you talk
Or
into
more.
it records all the audio, but it also inserts a fart noise the whole time. So you'll be like, so start talking, this is what it'll sound like. Start talking.
So then...
The whole time, though, while you're saying words.
So you mean it makes everyone sound like my mother-in-law?
Hey!
That was horrible.
Out the
that was,
elbow.
yeah. Let's try that again. There we go.
Look
time's a
at
charm.
my weenus.
Drag. Oh yeah.
So Ezran...
Callan wants to learn magic.
Frick.
Yeah.
Callum wants to learn magic. I keep calling him Ezran.
At least you're pronouncing it right this time. Because
I keep calling him Ezra from
Star Wars Rebels.
From Rebels, yeah. Callum wants to learn magic, and he goes with the Moon Mage, and he pretty much
It's a tour of the Magic Island mountain thing.
And we learn a little bit more of how magic works in the world, and you were saying a very funny thing, and I remember laughing, but it's also why they're explaining how magic works in the world. But I don't remember exactly how, but this is what I remember. We will correct ourselves if we're incorrect.
Basically, humans can't use primal magic because humans are lame.
Humans can't use... So, there's only, like, two types of magic in the world. There's primal magic, which is...
The good, normal magic.
You are born... Like, elves are born connected...
Everything but humans is born connected to this primal magic.
To each other in some way, and to essentially a magical creature. So, if you're connected to a magical creature, you can harness magic because of your connection to them, and then do magic. Dark magic is, which I think we already knew this. We said how primal magic works. You take the life force
of
magic creatures
out of the magic. You just rip,
which kills them.
Right. You rip the magic out of
magical creatures and then you use that. And so pretty much he had a primal stone that was allowing him to cast in the previous season, and he broke it due to I think they're trying to fight some monster or something. So Ezra broke...
he had to break it... I think he had to break it to hatch the egg.
Yes! He breaks it... Yeah. So they break it, they hatch the egg. So it was a good reason and stuff like that, but now he can't cast, and he was hoping to learn how, and the elf's just like, you can't. So he gets wickedly bummed out by it.
Because humans are stupid.
Humans suck. Just like real life.
Yep.
Elves are better. Just kidding, dude. This is the only form of fantasy I've ever seen where all elves don't seem super good.
Neat.
Callum...
He's super bummed that he can't use magic anymore.
And
he kind of just accepts
does
it, really.
The first episode.
Yeah, he's just kind of bummed, but he kind of accepts it. And he's just like, you know what? There's nothing I can do to change this.
But then he doesn't accept it. And he's like, I'm going to figure out how to do magic again. Because, like, that's how, like, that one kind of ends. It ends with him going to the Moon Mage again and being like...
Oh, yeah, he doesn't really... Yeah.
It's like, he, like, gets bummed out and then leaves, and then he changes his mind. He's like, there has to be something I can do. Which, spoilers, just because of how TV works, I bet at some point he learns how to do primal magic.
Or they actually, like, throw us for a loop, and at no point can he actually learn to do primal magic. What if it's one of those things where, like, he decides...
He'll get a stone.
What if he decides, you know what, I'm just going to start dabbling into dark magic, and then he starts using dark magic, but then realizes, you know what, this isn't a good idea, and he has to, like, pull himself away from it, like a drug or something. And then, like, his arc is learning that, you know what, I can't use magic, and I shouldn't be using this dark magic that's enabling me to use magic.
They already teased the fact that he was, like, kind of a magic prodigy, because he was casting in that first season really easily.
Maybe that's just
so
to
I
okay,
think
yeah,
I think if they don't invent a new way for him to do primal magic, he will get a primal stone again and he can cast. At some point he'll be able to cast.
Or something's gonna get infused in his body.
Yeah.
Infused with his body.
I mark my words, at least by the end of this season, Callum will be casting again. Is my prediction. Because, like, if they're building it up too much, he'll figure it out. And then Ezrin is trying to get the dragon to fly, and it won't do it. However,
he
it's
yeets it into
the
a
cutest
bush.
thing in the world. This little kid and this little baby dragon are so adorable running around together. Like, it's such a fun, like, it's so cute.
Yeah, at one point he just yeets it into a bush, and then
You killed it.
the little girl on the wolf, I can't remember her name to save my life, but
Wolf
the girl
girl.
with the girl with the three-legged wolf, she's like, Ezran, you killed it!
And he's like,
oh no! He's like, I messed up. What happened? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna tell everybody? I killed it. Oh no! And then it just pops out of the bush and it's fine.
It's fine. It's a freaking dragon, little baby. And all throughout the episode, Rayla is doing patrols, trying to make sure they're not getting followed.
Which,
And
spoiler alert, they are.
They are getting followed. So, is anything else major happen? Or is
No, not really.
So
the episode ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So Rayla, out on her last patrol of the night, we hear some weird music getting played, which is sort of
an
making her
ocarina music.
pass out.
Yeah, it makes her pass out.
And as she's passing out, she grabs a rose and falls down, and then Claudia and Soren are
show
there
up, and then Soren lifts his sword
to kill her, and credits.
Scene.
It's really interesting and good and fun.
And, like, you and I both let out audible disappointment when the episode ended.
Yeah, like, it's God, this is good. So, also, we always forget about B-plots.
Because B-plots don't matter.
What's his name? Soren's dad. And Claudia's dad. We will call
Viren.
him
Lord Viren.
Heck yeah, dude. Oh boy.
Or we could call him Mao. Or Stalin.
What about Meanie? He seems pretty mean.
And Mao and Stalin weren't. Mao killed, like, most of his citizens. Well, not most of, but a lot of his citizens.
We'll call him...
Tiananmen Square.
What's his name? Dang it, dude. It's gonna be so
Bill
funny.
Clinton.
No. Different countries. South Korea.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong. We'll call him Kim Jong-un. Dang it.
Or
Putin.
Rootin' Tootin' Putin.
We'll call him Rootin' Tootin' Putin.
Yeah, so Rootin' Tootin'
We're not
Putin.
gonna call him that. We're gonna call him Viren. So Viren is trying... Viren very much wants his war, and he wants to kill all the elves and take all the magic and get the dragon egg so he can have all the magic in the world, pretty much. So he's pushing to do that, and everybody's like, you're super not the king.
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
like,
do that.
You're not my dad!
And, so he goes off, and he pretty much... He fakes a bunch of things with the king's seal of trying to rally
strings.
everybody else, and then threatens the person...
Yeah.
Essentially the mail service, he threatens them to... if he doesn't send them out, so...
Yeah, it's just like, if you don't send these out, I'm gonna kill you.
So he sends them out. Which also, this is a side note, I do believe they teased the king's not dead.
They
He
teased
got
the king's
turned
not
into a
dead when he
bird or
died.
something.
Like, when he died, they teased that he was not dead.
Yes, like that episode. And they turned him into a bird or something, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure that that was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember that being a thing, but they don't reference it again. Which, maybe we're understanding that scene wrong, and the king's super dead, but I think the king's alive and in a bird. He got turned into a bird.
What if he is just super dead?
Then we're really dumb.
Well,
But
I mean, they
it'll
did
probably
kind of
be
like
funny.
hard tease that he was the bird.
I mean, that'll be, maybe we just read it wrong, and we're just dumb.
Yeah,
That'd
we
be pretty
overthought
funny.
it, maybe.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
We're super convinced, and we get to the end of the last season, like, oh, dang you, the king was super dead the whole time.
I mean, there is a kind of a law of cinematography where if someone does not die on screen, it's to be assumed that they are still alive.
Also, there's nobody was found, and also, when, we know that the elves didn't succeed in killing him, and we know that Viren had a conversation with him, and then it, like, cuts hard after he leaves
And
to
he's-
not a body to a bird in the room that I don't think was previously in the room.
At least it wasn't an elephant. Because then we'd have to address that.
But yeah, so that cuts, and then we'll do our commercial break.
Do-do-do-do.
It took a year before Carson finally got his
WackMatters merch.
his employee uniform
Well, I mean,
for WackMatters.
I mean, normally the employer provides the uniform.
I don't want to hear it. I don't make any money. I'm trying to keep the lights on. You see how many lights we got on in this room? There's 4 bulbs in that, 4 bulbs in that, 2 bulbs up there. Dog, you think that comes out of nowhere? We need you to buy hats. Well, no, if you buy 1,000 shirts, Carson will get a tattoo.
Honestly, I do have a couple that I've planned. I haven't decided to pull the trigger on any of them yet.
Did you see that no look high five? That's how much we're firing right now.
Okay, but I was looking. Let's try that again.
Frick. Heck, wait.
Closer. There we go.
Yeah, dude, friggin' first try. Let's
Yes.
get back into the episode.
So yeah, episode 2 starts out with I'm sorry to set you right as you were taking a
Soren
drink.
being like, I can't kill a sleeping person. And then they get into a quick argument, which is legitimately funny.
Mm.
We didn't stress this in the first episode. I don't remember specific bits right now. Off the top of my head.
There
that
wasn't
made me
any banter in the first episode.
out loud laugh. Did we not laugh in the first episode at all?
No, the
we
first
laughed
episode was
he
very
threw
serious.
When he threw the dragon, though, I laughed out
Oh
loud.
yeah, I laughed there, but for the most part, the first episode was pretty serious.
This episode's legitimately funny.
Well, yeah,
There's
because Soren's the
multiple-
comedic relief, the main comedic relief, and he's in most of the episode.
And also, Callum's funny. This episode's legitimately funny. Like, we both out loud belly laughed at stupid stuff that happened in this episode.
It was good.
They get into an argument about how long a creature has to be awake for you to kill it and it be considered sporting, which is funny. And then Rayla never fell asleep. She poked herself with a thorn to not fall asleep of the rose, so they get into a fight. And what I expected was going to turn in, like, this is a cool subversion of expectations. I expected she was going to kind of push them off enough, go get the boys, and they're going to start running. And then we're going to kind of get, maybe that's how Avatar was. It's the same creators as Avatar. And we just watched a lot of Avatar, and like they would have managed to hold off Zuko, taken off on Appa. But no, dude, freaking Callum comes out after a really cool, good fight scene.
Yeah, and like I was expecting Rayla to just like beat Soren. I was expecting Soren to be like super incompetent, but no, he actually has a really good fight scene with Rayla, and it like shows that he's like actually
He's
really
competent with a sword.
Just because he's the comedic relief doesn't mean he has to be incompetent. Kind of like Sokka. Like in Avatar, Sokka, he can fight, but he's the comedic relief, but he knows how to fight.
Yeah, and he's also like smart,
And he's
like,
intelligent.
He can build things. Yeah, it's almost like maybe if you write a comedic relief character and you just make them a dumb person, you're being lazy.
Yeah.
You could argue that. So the fight seems really good, but then Callum comes out and
She's like, guys, stop fighting.
he gets everybody to chill for a second, and flirts with
Claudia.
a little bit, and then they all go.
And both Rayla and Soren are just like, you've got to be kidding
Which was
me.
funny. I laughed. Funny. Also, just like good character design stuff is like his hair has been getting a little crazy. Season 2 was a little out of whack, and this one's a little out of whack, and then Claudia notices that. It's like good continuity.
Mm-hmm.
Just fun stuff. And then we kind of get like a back and forth of like Rayla not trusting them and telling Callum not to trust them, and Callum being like, I've known these people for a long time.
Known them longer than
We're
you, so I have more
friends.
reason to trust them.
And also, when we met, you were trying to kill my brother. No, my dad. And then you caught my brother. And then we get, like, Soren and Claudia talking about, like, they disagree. So Soren wants to just be like, I know how to fight. We need to separate them from the elf, and we can easily take the two idiots. And she's like, they're our friends. And I can't tell if she legitimately has a thing for Callum or if she's just trying to play him. What do you can you tell? Or do you have a guess?
I think there's a little bit of something there, but I think for the most part she's just trying to get him to
She's just playing him?
yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe it'll be something where she starts out playing him but then develops a thing for him.
Okay. Cuz like I couldn't cuz like she talks about how he looks good before you even try to play him though, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't know, whatever. We'll get into it.
Women are confusing.
Can't say that.
I just did.
Good. It's true. Just got thrown off. So, as they're bickering about that, she talks him into letting her try to, like, let's use words and talk to our friends, and we don't have to fight them. And then we also get a few references under his breath to, if you remember correctly, last season,
Viren told Soren
essentially
to kill the princes.
Don't let the princes come back. We need the egg, not the princes. Is kind of what is the implications.
And so Soren's like, he's like making reference to that. But then when Claudia's like, sorry, what did you say? Like not fully hearing him. He's like, oh, nothing. I didn't say anything.
So we get a scene of them using pancakes where we learn that she's been using dark magic to make the pancakes, and then the Rayla. We need a name for these teams, these sides now. Team Dragon doesn't want to do it because they don't believe in dark magic and stuff. Which is weird because, like, I know dark magic is supposed to be bad, but, like, they also eat meat in the show. So, like, I don't know how sentient magical creatures are. Because, like, in season 1, they're using, like, bugs, essentially, like, magical bugs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm pro-meat, right? So, like, I don't have a problem with us killing animals for a purpose, as long as we're, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you should just, like, kill a lot of things for no reason, but, like, oh, I killed this deer for meat, or, oh, I don't see the difference in I killed this deer and I ate the meat from it, or I killed this deer by taking the magic out of it and now I can do magic stuff that helps the world. You know what I mean?
Helps the world is debatable though, because we have been shown that there are side effects to dark magic. Like there are negative effects to dark magic.
Well, I think we've seen that from people using them negatively.
The way I see,
like she's also done dark magic to like locate them. Right. You know what I mean? So like,
and like
I located this rapist, and now we found the rapist and we put him in jail. So like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be okay with that. I would be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. The way I see it is like,
but if magical creatures are sentient, then it's like, yeah, no, I don't think you should just kill sentient life too.
Right. But like the way I see it is like, even if they're not, like, when you kill something for meat, you're doing it for a process that is necessary for survival. You need to eat to live. You don't need to use magic to live.
But you don't need to eat meat to live.
If you want to have a good quality life, you have to eat meat. Otherwise, you should probably just...
So, like, I agree with that because I think vegans and, like, vegetarians are dumb. However, like, you don't need it, and you can be 100% healthy and fine and not eat meat or any, like, animal products.
But if you're not, you're just...
You know what I mean?
What are you doing with your life?
You know what I mean, though? Because, like, you have an argument there, but also, like, you don't need meat to live. That's what I'm saying. So, like, if you're I do think you can kill animals. I do think you can eat them. However, like, you don't need it to live. You need food to live, but you don't... In the U.S., you don't have to kill an animal to eat. Like, if you want to, you don't have to eat any animal products. And I can live fine. I like animal products a lot, so I'm not going to do that. But, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, whatever. It's interesting to think about. But, very against dark magic. Also, dark magic's probably just evil in some other aspects, too. And also, I think, like, the implications are to do, like, bigger dark magic is you have to, like, kind of like do genocide of a species, which I'm against also. So like, it was an interesting thing to think about, and I also think that like there's probably gonna be a lot more sentience to a lot of these magical creatures too.
There generally is for magic creatures.
So like, you probably shouldn't kill the sentient thing just because you want to shoot lightning out of your hand. Makes sense. So they won't eat it, and then we get another breakup. Well, Soren says something about how their dad wants to see them, and then
get Claudia's like, yeah, that's a flat out lie.
Yeah, well, like we get another like separation of them because Claudia's mad because she's like, their dad's dead, and then we get another argument between Rayla and Callum about
who to trust.
And at this point, this is another thing I forgot, is like we learned that like Rayla, it's a little bit later in the episode, so we'll keep going. What happened next?
So next, Callum decides to take Claudia on a tour of the Moon Palace thing, the magical Moon Mountain thing.
Oh, the scene where he's doing his hair is very funny.
Oh yeah, he's doing his hair, and Ezran's just like, "Do you have like a thing for Claudia or something?"
And he says,
and then he goes Sokka mode, and it's hilarious.
It's very funny. So keep going.
So Callum's giving Claudia a tour of the mountain and showing her all these different like sites that he had just been shown like in the previous episode, and it's a little fun interaction between the two of them, and we kind of like get to see how infatuated Callum is with Claudia, and I don't know, there's a little bit of a feeling, at least I got a little bit of a feeling that I could almost tell that she like kind of picked up that she really didn't care too much and was just kind of like in him, like she really liked the ruins and stuff like that, but like I don't know, her side of the romance that was going on seemed a little
played
fake to me.
It might be. I don't know. I can't tell.
Maybe she's just an awkward teenager that doesn't know how to express her feelings.
I think that whether she has actual feelings for him or not, her feelings for him, like let's say she does have feelings for him, is taking a backseat to I'm trying to convince you to go back with me.
Yeah.
So like, she might actually like him, she might not, but like, even if she does like him, her reason for starting to flirt with him so aggressively now and going out with him is not to get to know him better or not to start dating. It is to convince him to go back. And that might be a side motive, is like, I do want to go out, but it's not the main intent.
Right.
So, while they're doing that, we get some fun scenes of Soren sets up a zip line and calls it something dumb, which is funny. And the zip line...
But he sets it up to fail.
Yes, to fail, because he's trying to get Ezran to go on the zip line and have it fall over a cliff, so he dies.
Mm-hmm. So Ezran's riding the zip line thing, and...
They're trying to get the dragon to fly on it.
Yeah, and Soren's just, like, waiting for it to fail, and then Rayla shows up and is like, hey, what's going on? This doesn't look terribly safe. And Soren's just like, it's perfectly safe. I'm not trying anything here. Nothing's going on here. And then Rayla's just like, well, how would you ride it?
And then he goes and hits the peg in.
And Sword goes in and like pounds the peg into the tree even farther, because we've known, we've been like noticing, showing the camera's been showing us that it's pretty loose. It's wanting to fall off. So he goes and he pounds it into the tree like several times just to make sure it was really in there, and then he rides it super nervous. And then Rayla's just like, okay, something is definitely up. I have to tell Callum. And then that's when we get the scene of Callum being like, hey, listen, yeah, I can see in your eyes that you believe that something's up, but I've known these people longer, so right now your motives and your intentions and opinions take a backseat to my trust in them.
Which right then and there is better writing than like in stupid adult shows like Arrow and stuff, because rather than like them having this big drama thing about it where they get into an argument or like you're just jealous or like, you know what I mean, like he goes like, I see that you 100% believe that they are bad people trying to do bad things to us. And I understand that you believe that. I personally don't see it, so I'm going to continue as such. But it wasn't like this whole blow-up fight. He was like, I understand where you're coming from, at least.
It's like, I understand that you believe this, but...
I still think you're wrong, but I understand it.
I think you're wrong, so we're not going to go with your idea.
Yes. And, like, they all kind of handle it. And she, rather than, like, being all, like, grumpy and a baby about it, she's like, well... She leaves to go be like, I need to find a way to convince him that I'm right.
Right. 'Cause I need to find proof.
She's half right. Like, Claudia does not want to hurt them at all. Soren's willing to.
Soren's the only one who wants to.
So she's
yeah, Soren,
half
like
right.
this whole zipline time, like Soren's legit trying to murder a child.
Trying to get Ezra to die by accident.
It's like I can't do it by hand. I can't do it with my own hands. So I got to arrange an accident. Was his reason? He's like, I can't bring my. He's just a kid. I can't bring myself to kill a kid. But an accident can happen to anybody.
So Claudia and Callum meet up again, and Rayla goes and finds the Moon Mage, and she kind of learns maybe if I let Callum know everything, he'll believe me. So she's like, I need to tell him that their dad's dead. And then my niece and nephew were leaving during the big climactic moment of the end of this episode, so I went to go say bye to them, so I don't know exactly what happened next. Kirsten, take it away.
So yeah, Claudia tells Soren that their dad's dead, and he comes walking around the corner. Like, he takes it pretty hard, he walks. He comes back to the rest of the group, and Rayla's just like, what's wrong? And Callum's just like, Callum comes back, he's crying, he's just like, he's dead. He's gone, my dad's gone. And then I don't think anything else happens after that. I think we get the credits from that point.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
Dude.
And you and I are just like, do we record or do we watch the next episode?
We got a few in the tank. I'm getting episodes out a little bit slower because I'm just trying to figure out a few things still. But now I think we figure out how to convert everything. I think we'll be able to spit them out consistently. But yeah, I was very tempted just to like be like, got a few in the tank, Carson. You kind of just want to watch a bunch of Dragon Prince. Because dang, the show rules. And it's so good. It's episodic, but it's not really. They're shot like a giant movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 10-episode movie that's like half an hour. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Because
it just picks up, like, the next is going to pick up with him crying. Like, there's one after another, one after another, one after another. Like, it's really good. I loved it, and it's great.
Mm-hmm.
But now we gotta do the end of the day stuff.
Right.
We got other merch.
Yeah, we got
a link that you guys can click up and go check any of that stuff out. You say one, then I'll say one.
We got sweaties.
Cutoffs, if you have scissors.
We got t-shirts.
We have another t-shirt that'll be up by this point.
Hopefully. I want to buy that t-shirt, dude.
Well, I have up until the finale of Avatar is when I say I'll have them up by. So I have to whenever that goes up, which I think I have like 2 or 3 episodes to get to that still. So
okay,
I got time. We got Butt Cake Does Not Equal to Butt Trick shirt. We have hats.
And they're really nice hats.
They're dope. Big fans. We have a donation button. If you're lame and don't want benefits with your donation. Yeah, if you just because merchandise is just donations with benefits. Yeah, if you think that we're just so good, and you're like, they're so good, but I also would be too embarrassed to see their brand. Or maybe you don't want to, or maybe you want to give us money, but don't want to give us as much money as the merch costs. You can just throw a few dollars at us through the donate button. But also again, like the easiest way to help us, like legitimately, word of mouth, sharing, like legitimately liking, sharing, watching this stuff. Like, watch time's a big thing on YouTube. So if you're watching this YouTube video, like, watch the whole thing. If you only care about certain parts or something, like, leave it open and leave and go do stuff. You know what I mean? Like, little things, like, help a lot more than you think they do. If you're listening on any sort of podcast catcher that has a rating system, go ahead and rate us. Like, that stuff helps a lot more than you think it does. We were able to get an Audible sponsorship because of ratings on iTunes. Right. So, like, that stuff helps significantly more than it seems like it does. Cause like I remember before I got into any of this, like I never shared, especially on YouTube. I never liked YouTube videos.
Right.
Like,
but then now that you like understand how the system works, you're like, man, this is important.
Yeah, like this stuff helps a lot. So like if I, especially with creators I like and like I can tell they're struggling, or when they're putting out like a lot of newer content. Like there's a channel I watched that's recently putting out like them doing a tabletop play of like Mutants and Masterminds, playing through like this like fun little DC story and stuff. I liked it, and like I commented on it and I watched the whole thing because like all of that stuff adds up very in the benefit of them, and I liked this new product a lot, so I did like it, but also I showed that I liked it through those steps so that they can justify keep doing it.
Right.
So especially because like he's already full time, so like if it doesn't work out, he'd be like, I can't dedicate time to this. I need to make money and stuff. So like that stuff helps a lot. I think that's pretty much it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there another thing we usually talk about?
Sub to PewDiePie.
You can subscribe to PewDiePie still. I think he's pretty far behind in the sub war. However, still just subscribe to PewDiePie because he's funny.
He did a collaboration with Dr. Freaking Phil.
Heck yeah, dude. And Benjamin Shapiro. There's another thing. Oh, follow WackMatters on like Twitter and
Instagram.
We're posting some stuff there. Yeah, like us on Facebook. We are at like 86 subs on YouTube right now.
Something like that.
If you could help share this and get some more people to sub.
Some internet clout.
Me and Michael's goal for this whole year was get to 100 subs, and we're sort of on pace to do that. But we hit a pretty dry patch for a while, so if you can get us to 100 like subscribers, like that would mean a lot.
Come on, share us around, guys.
Yeah, like, hey.
Don't be selfish. Don't keep us all to yourself. Share us.
Yeah, share us. We're freaking funny and good. I mean, don't let them start here. Don't let him start at episode 1 of Toonin. Let him start here at Dragon Prince Season 2, episode 1 and 2. Episode 31.
Or start him with Life's What You Rated. That's a good show.
Let's just rate it. The Music Matters podcast is pretty hit or miss on whether it's on there. I guess I never miss out. Dang it, frick me.
Oh, wow. But yeah, like, don't...
There's stuff we do. We do things that are all of us pretty good.
Yeah. Don't let it just be YouTube. Let it be our tube. Share.
Tune in next time.